From a classroom teacher to a selfless social worker with a master's degree, a self-made woman with loads of personal life experiences and challenges. She stops at nothing to reach people from all parts of the world. To be motivated and inspired, it is time to connect with Caroline's Motivational Television, CMTV.
My brothers and sisters, the world has really changed, you know. The world has taken a different dimension. It has changed. Be very careful of who you call your brother or your sister these days. The world has changed. Gone are those days when we used to trust somebody so much to the point where we can say, I would chop fire for that person. I would die for that person. It's rare to find. I know there are still very good people out there, but generally speaking, those days that we used to say, like when you come from the same village as somebody, even from the same town, imagine you meeting somebody who comes from the same town as you or the same village as you in a foreign country. Automatically that person becomes your brother or your sister. And when you introduce them to other people, you say, meet my brother, meet my sister. And when somebody says, oh, I didn't know you have another brother or another sister, then you explain, well, we come from the same place. It was beautiful. Because we felt each other, we carried each other's load. Each other's problems were our problems back in the days. Like I say, not anymore. The things that are happening in society today makes us to question, makes us to doubt the kind of relationship that we have with people. Some people still have really good hearts out there, and we want to trust them because we see the things that they do for us. We see the sacrifices that they make for us. But when you picture, when you see and you hear stories that are happening today in society, oh my goodness. Can you imagine a poor man or woman or a poor family who are running away from war, keeping their children safe? They seek refuge in a village to keep everybody safe, knowing that that is their safe haven. And somebody who is from that same village comes to them and say, listen, you've been trapped in this village for so long. Your children are home. They're not going to school. I have a solution for you. I have somebody who is ready to take in your child and send them to school. And you trust them so much because you come from the same place, right? You believe in them. You know that that's your sister or that's your brother. They can't lie to you. And you entrust your innocent child into their hands. Lo and behold, we cannot even blame these parents because they're desperate. They want the best for their children. They want to see their kids go to school. They don't want to see their kids ending up like themselves. So they fall for this because the person who is offering this beautiful opportunity to them is one of their own. Is their sister, is their brother. And they believe in them, knowing that they cannot harm their children. Only for these individuals to take these children to sell them to other people unknown to them even, for God knows what reason. It is hard for these village people to investigate exactly where their children are being taken to. They believe in the person they call their brother. They believe in the person they call their sister. So when they hand that child to you, they have that trust that there's nothing that you can do. You can't harm their kids. The world has changed. It is hard to trust. It is hard to find that person to call your brother or your sister. And in as much as we want to do it, the things that are happening in society these days just draws us back. Today, I'm hearing a story that 25 children were abducted from a village. We don't have the conclusions yet of what happened. The case is still under investigation, so I'm not even going to question that. But my problem is, these stories are out there a lot. There's a lot of stories popping up in the social media these days where children are being missing from villages, from towns, from cities. Nobody knows where these kids are. And then there are other images popping up with a lot of dead bodies and children and women cooking human parts for food and selling it in restaurants. Oh, Lord Jesus, where did people's conscience go? It is scary out there. Parents, be careful. Watch over your children. If you don't have answers to questions in your mind, don't let go of your child. When these so-called brothers and sisters come to you with all these opportunities, try to ask some questions. Try to ask simple questions like, this person, I know you know them, right? You come from the same village, you come from the same town, you know who they are, but do you really know who they are? Ask simple questions like they come to you and they're telling you that they want to take your child to the city, to send them to a big school, they want to provide them with a job, they want to take them abroad. Ask simple questions, pertinent questions. Ask questions like, do they have kids of their own? Are their own children going to those kind of big schools? Does this individual work with an organization that you know is renowned and they've been doing these kind of things to other people? Do these people have their own kids of their own who are abroad as well? How come they want to help my own child? What makes me so special? I know you may shy away from those questions because you may feel like if you ask the questions, they will not assist you anymore. But a genuine heart, they will be glad that you're asking these questions. They will be glad that you are protecting your child. They will be glad that you're not stupid. And if they say no, they're not going to support you anymore, they're not going to take your child anymore because you asked these questions, then you will know that it was all a scam after all. Parents, be smart. This is not rocket science. These questions are not far-fetched. It's as easy as that. Do they have their own children in the city going to these schools, doing these kind of businesses? Why are they offering your own young child these opportunities? You have to ask the questions. It's honest. What is their track record of doing these things? Because you don't want to be a guinea pig. You don't want your child to be a guinea pig. It may be the first time, maybe this is a start, but at least there should be an organization somewhere that you can reference this person to. That way, at least you know exactly where to find them in case something goes wrong. But if it ends only within your village, that the only place you can go to is their house in that village, then please think twice. Because you don't want poverty to make you lose your child in the name of somebody wants to support them. You don't want to put them in harm's way because there's an opportunity that does not even exist somewhere. We need to man up. When something is just too good to be true, I said this last time in one of my videos. When something is just too good to be true, ask questions. It is too good to be true. We need to be aware of all of this. It is reality. It's not a child's play. I am so proud of that woman who gave me her daughter to take to the city to train her in some trades because of the way she handled the situation. She asked a lot of questions. She wanted to know exactly where this child is going to live. She wanted this house, an individual from the home that this child is going to live, to visit and pick up that child themselves, so that they know exactly where to trace their child in case something happens. Parents, be wise. Gone are those days when we just focus on, okay, I want my child to have education. You have to protect them as well. It's not all about the education. We have to make sure that they are safe. And then the education is going to be okay. We don't know who to trust anymore. If our own is beginning to betray us in these kinds of manner, then life is getting even tougher and tougher. But the more tough it gets, we have to be wise as well. We have to be wise. Don't just rely on the stories that other people tell you, because I bet you majority of the things and the stories and the images that you see out there, some of them are fake. There are people who say they're selling houses, and you see the images that they use to advertise their business doesn't even match the environment where they're selling these houses in. There are people who say they have products that they're selling, and the products that they are advertising, if you look at their flyers, it doesn't match or reflect the kind of products that they're selling. People, be wise. The Android generation is going crazy, and people are using people to make money. So we need to man up, we need to smart up and catch up. I know it is hard in some third world countries. It is very difficult for some people to be aware, because maybe there's no lights, even there's no television, there's no radios. So it's hard to catch up with all these stories and things going on around. So they rely on those people who come from the cities to give them information. But these are the same people that are using these innocent people, these ignorant people. This needs to stop. Where did our conscience go? Where did we leave our conscience? When you do these things, don't you think of your family members? Don't you think of if this was happening to your own child, to your brother's child, to your sister's child? I know some people don't even care anymore. They don't care what happens to their own relatives. Talk less of strangers. But the world is a global village. You never know where you are going to meet somebody else. So be careful how you treat people when you're walking the universe. You will never know. You will never know when you will be in need. And this same person that you may have helped or you may have chastised will be that one person to save you. Hello, people. The more we share love, the more we're going to live a peaceful life as a universe. We're in this together. I feel bad for the parents who are going through all this right now, seeing all the pictures and images of their children, and no matter what the story is, if they were kidnapped or not, but the children are already going through a lot of trauma because there's a lot of questions being asked. We don't know what the situation is. It's still under investigation, but definitely the truth is going to come out because nothing hides under the sun. Parents, take care of your children, protect your children, no matter what.